Hey guys, this is Orshi and this is going to be just a quick recap of which decks I'm going to use during the fall season. I designated 3 months as my autumn months, just based on the wheel of the year, August, September and October. And I have a few decks that are left over from summer that I didn't have enough time to work with, and a few that I plan on keeping on out pretty much all the time, at least for now, because they are dragon decks. But other than that, I have quite a few new decks that we will see how much time I will have to work with, because summer went by quickly and I didn't have as much time to work with my decks that I picked for the season as I hoped. So we'll see. But leftovers, let's start with them. And every deck is going to be listed down below, so if you didn't understand the name or you're curious, you can check there. Almost all of them will have a walkthrough or a flip through on my channel, either already up on either already up or coming in the upcoming weeks. This is the Night Vision Oracle. It's a teeny tiny oracle with bats, and I still haven't really figured out what bats or a bat means to me spiritually. But even though it's just a tiny oracle, and it's cute, so I'm keeping it. It stays out. The other one, also an oracle, is the Threadbound, because I got it at the end of summer and I didn't have time to use it. But definitely on my list, so this is going to be used as well, I think, in my weekly well-being reading as well, because there's a lot of really good keywords that can be used towards mental health related readings. So I'm quite looking forward to incorporate this deck, especially in those readings. Okay, let's try to keep space on my table. The other two oracles that are staying is the Field Guide is one of them. Like I said, dragon decks. Just a few cards. This is more of a spring, or more spring than summer. I kind of thought that it was a summer deck, but I'm feeling more of a spring deck now. But because it's dragons, for now I'm not going to put away. At some point I might be strong enough to put them away, but also, why would I do that? Dragons. I know why I could put these away. The other one, dragon deck, is the StarDragons Oracle. When the what's the Smoke, Ash and Ember, I think that's the name. Tarot is coming out, which is, if you don't know, it's going to be the sister deck for Oak, Ash and Thorn, and that has dragons, and I'm kind of feeling already that that's going to be my soul deck. No pressure and all that jazz. But once that is out, I might be able to put the oracles away, because that's gonna, I will have a dragon deck that I can have out all the time, because I don't see a chance for that to not be on my table, pretty much. Okay, and one other, a tarot deck, which is very, if you know me, it's surprising for you as well, but the Tarot Vintage, which is a vintage version of the RWS deck. I really love this version. I love the aesthetic, I love the colors, and I love everything. And I haven't used this deck, the RWS, as much, because I wasn't drawn to the artwork and such, but I want to study the symbology, and just I wanna use a deck that is a foundational deck a lot more. So I'm keeping this one out, because it's nice to have that simple option as well. Okay, so on to tarot decks. I have if I'm correct, 6 decks that I designated as my autumn decks. And the first one is the one that's giving me the most problems, because this is the beautiful Oak, Ash and Thorn, because how could you not use just this deck if you have it? I have a really hard time not just read with it. And then, yes, you could be like, duh, just read with it. But I have more than one deck, so I want to use my other decks too, but it's very hard when I have the Oak, Ash and Thorn out, because it was a surprise in a way. I mean, I asked the cards beforehand, and the cards told me that this is going to be my 2 of Cups deck, so... Oh, look at that. 2 of Cups deck. So it's not that much a surprise after all, but I was very, very much surprised how much I fell in love with this deck, because it's an animal deck, and I'm not an animal deck person, but this... Oh, look at that. Look at that. The art style, just the cards and the card stock and everything that this deck stands for. Oh, I love it. I love it. And I moved it into this one to protect the cards, because unfortunately the lovely leather case, and I still have to fix the button because it was made for a different deck. So the leather pouch that my friend made for me, it's too rigid or stiff or whatever, and it you know, it might hurt the card, so I had to move it out from that one. But so that's gonna be one out of the 6 that's gonna be on my deck all the time, that's for sure. Another one that I'm really happy and excited to use is the Majestic Earth Tarot. I still can't believe that I managed to get a copy. It felt like it was such a wish deck, you know, that, you know, you hope and love from far away, but you missed out on the chance to get it, and then there were a chance, and because of you lovely people, I mean Jen in particular, but you know, because we have such a supportive community, I was able to reach out and ask for help with shipping. So now I have this deck, and I mean, look at that. And I'm keeping all the extra cards as well in, because even if, you know, they show up in a reading, I can just use the meaning of the element, and I think that will work as well. And the only problem, because it was discounted, it was a discounted deck, there are, as you can see, you know, some cards are bent, and I removed the edging because I hate that sort of gold edging. It always cuts into my hand, so I don't like that, but I removed it, and I will have to edge it. And I already have a matching color, but I didn't have time to do it, so that's coming at some point as well. But yes, very much looking forward to using this deck. Okay, where to put it? Another one that I picked up used is the Llewellyn Tarot, which could be more of a summer deck, but because I picked it up recently, I can't pass on the chance to use it. I didn't film a walkthrough of this one because I bought it trimmed, and I kind of feel like it, because I didn't do the trimming, and because it's an already modified deck, I don't want to do the walkthrough for some reason. Maybe it's stupid, but it's Botanical and it's Welsh, so you know, we have dragon, we have a tiny dragon. So all my Celtic related decks are in the autumn season, and yeah, I just love the artwork. I mean, not as much as the Oak, Ash and Thorn, I mean, let's be honest, but it kind of feels like it's a very, very good deck that I'm going to be very happy using, and I have high expectations for the guidebook as well. I haven't had time to edge it. I'm going to edge it to a yellow color because I kind of feel like I don't want to do, you know, too much brown, so I kind of feel like using a rich yellow to match the back and give it more warm feeling. But that is something that I'm really, really excited to be using. And then, okay, Yeah, why is it that I always run out of space? And another deck that you have seen me talked about for almost 2 years now, because I picked it up for my first autumn with tarot, not last year, the year before, I think. But you know, things are very much chaotic in my head about timing. But at least for I have it at least for a year now, or year and a half, and I didn't use it not because, you know, it's not a good deck, but because it's not following the Rider-Waite system, and I didn't have time to, as per usual, sit down and go through. Oh, I love this star. The guidebook, and I didn't even check if, you know, it was in the right order. Unfortunately, it was, you know, cut in half. Ooh, look at that card. When packaged, and it gave the cards a slight bow, which I absolutely dislike. Also, it has animals for court cards, and with this one I have a problem because I don't know enough about these animals to know what it means if an eel is the Knight of West. So I mean, okay, it's fast, but you know, like, I know nothing about salmons besides the fact that they lay their eggs upstream. I mean, and that's not necessarily a good quality to know about a queen. So you know, I want to have time to sit down and go through the guidebook, make notes, and work with the deck. But I love the cardstock is really nice on this one, and it's I mean, it's the perfect autumn deck for me, and it goes well with the Celtic theme. It's more of a shamanic theme, which I don't mind because I like. I mentioned it in previous videos, but if you don't know, I had a few classes in university regarding to shamanism, more on the Korean side, because it was related to my major, which is Korean language history and culture. But I still, shamanism in general was one of my favorite classes, so I always like anything that's related to that. Another one which I'm very, very excited to work with, I already did the you know, I had to remove the borders because it wasn't completely centered and it bugged the hell out of me. Plus it was too big, so I what is it called? I trimmed the deck. Oh, that sounded weird. I trimmed the deck and edged it to this lovely warm toned brown, which matches the back pretty much perfectly. I'm very, very pleased how it all turned out. I love the cardstock. It's one of my absolute favorite. I have no idea what exactly this cardstock is, but I wish it would be indicated in somewhere, you know, like, this is so and so GSM and blah 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 finish, and then you can be like, oh, I want that in all of my decks. But look at those pentacles. Pentacles are not my favorite minor suit, but in this deck especially, I love the pentacles. I mean, I really like the majors, but for some reason I'm all over the pentacles. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It's just, I think it's just the colors. It's so warm toned that I am always happy when you know, pentacles show up. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to learn from this deck because there's a lot in the guidebook that I want to spend time with. But like I said, this is like how many? It's like the third or fourth deck already, which I want to play with, which I want to spend time to study. So 3 months might not be enough, but I will do a quick recap as well. So I will tell you which deck I ended up actually using, so you will know which one is going to become a 6 months in video as well. Another one, and this is the last tarot, I think, if I'm seeing correctly, yes, is the Hush Tarot. This is quite new, and I picked this one up when I was like, oh, I need a deck that's, you know, fitting for autumn, and then I realized by the time that I bought this that I already have like 5 other decks, but hey, and this is, yeah, good quality and a very interesting art style, not RWS, so also requires some spending time with the guidebook, which I don't mind, but you know, I'm not a time millionaire, so we will see. But it's kind of, it's one of those decks that, just like the Majestic Earth, I was, after, when I first saw it, I was like, nah, not mine. I can't work with something like that. And then I, you know, time went on, and then I was like, yeah, you know what, I kind of want that. Life. Okay, yes, I'm done with the tarot. Let's check the oracle section. There's only 4 or 3 oracle and this one affirmation deck. I really like this one. It's a cute one. I think it's going to go well with the Hush Tarot, for example, and pretty much all my Celtic themed decks. So I'm very happy with this one. I like I like the art style. I love the box. It's a very, very smart box. I have the flower petals from the Rockwool's same series or whatever it's, you know, these tiny ones, and it works very well for the spring. I'm still thinking about getting one for winter and getting one for summer, you know, just to have one card for each season, but you know, I'm not in a hurry. I will check all the options. My main oracle deck for autumn is going to be, if I can get it out, is the Botanical Inspiration deck, which is such a lovely vintage flower deck. And I mean, I feel like it's perfect for the dying season, as I like to call autumn. You know, everything is pretty much dying in this season, so it's not about renewal, it's not about power, it's about turning inwards more, stepping away and harvest and all those feelings. So, and I love this, it looks so pretty. I'm kind of, you know, I wanted these feelings to be present in an oracle, and I was looking into other oracle decks as well, like the Magical View, which I was thinking it could be a good for autumn, and the Mausolea of oh, I forgot what it's, Mausolea of something. But I'm kind of at the point right now that I think I'm happy, and you know, Botanical Inspiration is going to be enough as the main oracle. I mean, we will see how it works. If it's not good, which I kind of don't think it's possible, I might look into another one, but I'm hoping I don't have to, because it's not like I necessarily want to add to my collection in that sense, just for the sake of getting. I want everything to have its special place, even, you know, if it's a dedicated month or theme. I'm only keeping decks that I actually want to use. I'm not collecting for the sake of collecting. Another one that I want to try, because I didn't in the end, is the Goddess Temple Oracle. It also, you know, I mean, did you guess? It's watercolor. I mean, I'm so easy. It's pathetic, but I don't know. I kind of like, I mean, look at that. It's beautiful. So I like the keywords. Some requires the guidebook. Ooh, look at that, the green man. But we'll see, because I especially picked this one up when I wanted to work with goddesses, but in the end I didn't feel like I was actually called to work with any deity at this very moment. I might never will be, I don't know. I envy everyone who, you know, has those callings, because it seems like it's such a special, cool thing to do. But besides the bats, nothing jumped at me that, you know, wanted to communicate me in any way, or, you know, anything like that. right now it's not a thing. I got this one, the Celtic Oracle from the lovely Madwitch, who is, or I mean, who was posting videos just recently. So hopefully she will keep up the good work and her at her channel, because I really like her content. And she sent me this deck. So this is my favorite Scottish plant. I mean, I've seen this in Scotland, and I know that Scottish people think it's a weed, but it's so beautiful. And I tried to find the seeds because I wanted to plant one, but I couldn't find one yet. So I have to look somewhere in Scotland, I guess. Or I just go back and, you know, pick one in person. But look at those colors. I mean, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the borders, to be honest, because I don't necessarily mind them. I mean, the artwork would pop without any of them, but I kind of like this Celtic themed frame. So even if I would trim it, because the back is very very good, it's, you know, it's just green, so you can cut it without fear of you know, misalignment. I think I would, if I would do, and maybe I do it because then it becomes smaller, I would just go this way. But then, you know, if you corner around it, you'll lose. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So far I don't think I necessarily have to. I can still in a way overhand shuffle, like just barely, but I can do that. So I don't know. I don't necessarily want to cut everything off from every deck. I mean, I know you might think that because I like doing that, but I don't have to cut all the borders all the time. And the last thing is a Celtic Lenormand, because I kind of hoping that I will learn the basics of Lenormand this season, and it's not even opened yet because I haven't had time to film a walkthrough, which I completely forgot, but at least now remember. So yeah, I can't show you the cards, but I'm gonna show you a few from here. I guess here's the tower. I mean, honestly, I forgot that I haven't had time to do the walkthrough. But hey, you can look at my beautiful runes while I blabber on. Look at that, isn't it pretty? If you know, if you read runes, read what's on my table. Okay, so look at that. I still have to sand them down because the edges are too sharp. I didn't have time to do that yet. Only on my, oh, where is it? Here. Only on this, you know, the blank one. Even though I still think I'm going to remove even more, but that's just technical stuff. So yeah, these are my decks, and there's quite a lot of decks that, yeah, so might be too ambitious for 3 months. We will see, but I'm honestly can't wait to get them out and have something new, so to speak, on the table, because I enjoy working with different decks. So, and there might be new ones coming in. So in the quick recap, there might be extra decks. We will see, because, you know, life is life. So okay, but yeah, I think that's all, and thank you so much for watching, and please do tell me which decks do you use for autumn, if you have a dedicated selection for the season, or if you don't do the seasonal one, what method do you use to ensure that you actually use all your decks? Because if you have more than, I don't know, a few, like 3 or 4, I guess, then you have to, I think after a while you want to come, not, you don't have to, but I think you want to come up with, most of us wants to come up with a system to ensure that we're using our decks. But, you know, maybe not, maybe you're just using whatever jumps at you that day. I don't know. Yeah, it's not exactly the same color because I ran out of, I mean, these were made in different batches, but I kind of like that. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm just very happy with my runes. Okay, thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.